Hi, I'm Colin.
And I'm James.
And welcome to Let's Talk Retro.
And today we're going to do the first of a new series of videos.
It's a new series of videos that we're calling... So yes, this is a new series of videos that we're calling Games Mag Flashback. And basically what it is, I don't know about you, James, and probably you guys at home do as well. I like going through old computer game magazines and just having a look and seeing what's in there.
Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, the only way you could find out pre-internet about new games and whether games were good or not were games mags.
Yeah, and it's always quite amazing what you can find in there. Sometimes you find things about consoles that hadn't sort of been released and they said were going to be released and then they never went to market. Sometimes you find sort of little funny adverts about all sorts of things, really.
Upcoming games, mail order companies, loads of ads from them to order games and things like that. So we just thought we'd show you some of our clip-its from some magazines we've looked through recently.
Yeah, so I think we've been chatting on about it enough. Should we get to it?
Yeah, once we get out of this iPad.
Yeah, we're in this... I don't know, how do we get in there? Was it that way we got in?
Yeah, that way.
You sure?
Yeah.
Right, let's go that way then. So first up, we found an advert with a PC which got a Mega Drive in it.
Yeah, a Mega PC by the company Amstrad.
And Amstrad, the guy behind that was Mr. Alan Sugar, or Sir Alan Sugar, I should say.
Sir Alan, famous for The Apprentice nowadays on BBC. Previous to that, he had several electronics companies and known for the brand Amstrad.
Yeah, you're fired. That's what he says these days.
That's it, yeah. It's complete, obviously a copy of the American version of The Apprentice. The format was sold over here.
So as Mean Machine Sega January 1993 hit the streets, they said that this amazing piece of kit combines a Sega licensed Mega Drive with a fully fledged IBM compatible 386 SX PC, all in one neat little unit. Its vital statistics also included a Mega CD compatible converter, a free joypad, built-in stereo speakers, a dual sync colour monitor with VGA graphics and ad-lib soundboard which automatically switches over to Mega Drive graphics and sound mode when needed. So Mean Machine Sega are saying the way that it switches between different modes, so PC and Mega Drive, is basically organised with slots at the front by a slot that slides left to right and either covers up the floppy disk drive and opens up the Mega Drive slot, or vice versa. The person who wrote the review also talks about how this is sort of an improvement over a previous invention that I wasn't aware of called a Terror Drive. They're saying it was pretty ugly, aesthetically pleasing as a slug, and apparently it just totally bombed in Japan. The only thing with this amazing piece of kit was it's a bit pricey at £999.99. That would have been quite pricey back then, wouldn't it?
Loads of money.
Yeah, loads of money. And you don't even get a copy of Sonic with it. However, it's a fairly high-end quality, high-performance PC, which unless you seriously shopped around for a bargain, the magazine reckons you wouldn't have got for about £800 anyway. So about as an extra £199.99 for the Mega Drive bit then. But still a bit pricey.
Don't quite understand how the Mega CD compatible bit works, considering there's no Mega CD drive, but I guess there was a socket on it so you could connect a Mega CD to it if you wanted to.
So staying with Mean Machine Sega of January 1993, this was another advert that I found in there, and it's a tidal wave of titles down at Toys R Us.
This reminds me of some of my dreams from the early 90s.
Yeah, you got these two guys that are just basking in a sea of games.
There's some classic titles there. Sonic the Hedgehog, Outrun, I can see. There's a T2. What else have we got? There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Demon Sword. That must be a NES game. Adventures of Link. There's a Pac-Man. All sorts. There's even a Mario Brothers 2 at the back. And Knight Rider at the front, a Donkey Kong and a Super Tennis. So they had all sorts going on in Toys R Us.
And some of these games I've got in my collection today, and there's some of them I would like to have in my collection today. So
Can you imagine what all those would be worth just in that condition in these days?
It's getting too excited thinking
I am,
about
yeah.
it.
I wonder if the kids that were involved got paid as well as got given the games.
Yeah, I wonder if I expect they got given some games, surely.
I think we need to track them down and find out if they kept the games.
Yeah. Anybody knows them? Drop it in the comments. And if you were planning on rushing down to Toys R Us, all stores are open Monday to Saturday 9 till 8 p.m. and Sunday 10 till 6 p.m. except for Wood Green, Basildon and Birmingham. And they don't tell you what time they're open, so your guess is as good as mine. And next up, we've got a warning for Dodgy Dave down the market. He's got to watch out because there's an anti-piracy campaign about.
So as you can see from one of the first anti-piracy adverts here, it talks about having an original disc. So this is the floppy disk on the left, and then what looks like a copy on the right. So if you copy this disc, you could end up with 6 months in prison, which is something you need to tell Dodgy Dave about. And there's also a phone number on there, the Federation Against Software Theft, and you can give them a call and grass up Dodgy Dave if he's still flogging these floppies. But I think he's moved on to tapes now.
So at the end of the day, the decision was yours. You could either have hours of fun with the disc on the left, or 6 months in the slammer with the disc on the right.
So from a warning about piracy to something that can help you with your piracy.
Yes, this is the Magicom, which is a backup system for the SNES. You could back up your cartridges to a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
So this device plugged into the cartridge slot on the top of the Super Nintendo. You had to put a cartridge in the top and it would read the cartridge. It would tell you on an on-screen menu how big the game was, and you just inserted your floppy disk into the drive and it would back up the game, format the disk first and then back up the game to the floppy. The game saves were also saved as well, so you didn't lose those. And really you could back up everything you wanted.
But you were supposed to own the games you backed up, is that correct?
Yeah, there was a whole debate back in the 90s about whether you could back up something that you own. And there's obviously a guy here that's created this ad that you can get in contact with him and buy one for a pricey sum of $299. Is it $249? $250. It's getting cheaper. £250. So you can send off your cheques and postal orders to Neil Gossage.
So up next, we've got our next warning of the episode, this time from Sega and Virgin.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
So this is an advert that we found was placed in the April 1990 issue of Ace magazine, and it is placed by Sega and Virgin Mastertronic, and basically telling you not to buy imported Mega Drives.
So this advert reads, Sega of Japan and Virgin Mastertronic, as the exclusive distributor for Sega in the UK, strongly advise all potential customers against purchasing grey imported 16-bit Mega Drives. And it says Mega Drives have already reached the UK, have been unofficially converted to run on the PAL system. So it's obviously talking about the TV system not being NTSC, so PAL land. This work has not been authorised by either company, and therefore the hardware is not covered by any guarantee of safety or workmanship, and will not receive any after-sales service from Sega or Sega Mastertronic. So they're saying that people have bought American Mega Drives, Genesis, and modified them to run on PAL, probably with a little switch box that you get done. These days, people get them done. And they're saying they won't support any hardware or games that don't work properly with these modifications.
So we're back from the ad break with an ad. And this is an ad for Special Reserves Game Club. And this is a sort of mail order company that basically got away with charging you $6.99 a year for you to buy anything from them, because you had to be a member. But for the $6.99, you got a bi-monthly magazine called NRG, sort of Energy NRG. It's like a sort of play on words.
I
and
see
letters.
what they're doing there.
Yeah. And in that magazine, you got lots of reviews, and they also got some discount vouchers for money off of games. But I don't remember it ever being a huge amount. I remember back in my Amiga days, I was a member of Special Reserve for a while. But yeah, so they got away with charging you before you actually even bought anything from them.
Yeah, different way of doing things, but obviously they made a bit of extra cash and obviously funded the adverts and running the phone lines and the credit card processing and all that kind of stuff with this subscription charge.
And another sort of interesting thing on this is it says on the advert that they're open to 8 p.m. weekdays and open to 5 p.m. weekends, but they don't tell you what time they actually open.
No, it's probably when they feel like it, or when they've finished partying the night before from all the membership fees they've raised, and they open up the phone lines and take more orders. At the time, I used to think the prices were probably a little bit expensive, but nowadays I think I'd buy everything on there for the price they're offering.
And up next, we've got a little advert that you don't sort of see these adverts in games magazines these days. And this is System 3, the creators of The Last Ninja Saga. And they're looking to increase their team of in-house freelance programmers and graphic artists. If you're interested, you have to contact Doug Hare on 01866 5692.
I wonder, did you apply for this ad and were you successful? If you were, leave us a comment.
This next interesting article is from Enforce October 1992, and they're saying you can pump up the Game Boy and make it into some sort of boring organiser. I mean, why would you want to buy like a state-of-the-art little pocket games machine that you could have all this fun on and make it look ugly by sticking in some sort of holster-looking type thing and using a QWERTY keyboard to type a load of stuff into it?
Yeah, like a shopping list.
Apparently it had several languages. There's English, French, Italian and German. An address book, a phone book, a calendar, an appointment book and a database.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if you were really boring, you would buy a Game Boy to look cool, and then I suppose you'd go and buy this, which was called the Work Boy. And yeah, I just don't really understand this at all. I've seen this advert and I just couldn't get over it. Why would you want to do something like that?
Well, next up, we've got the bug report. And are you plagued with bugs? Well, this is from Computer and Video Games in September 1989.
Yes, I remember this being a regular feature in computer and video games back in the day, and basically people could send in their bugs that they'd found in computer games and let everybody know about it. And looking from the list, the Atari ST seems to have the most. And quite an interesting one there is Packland, which is spotted by Philip Green of Sheffield. And Philip says that if you walk instead of run, no ghosts appear. So my advice to you, Philip, would be run and don't walk. There was also a bug in the Amstrad version of Postman Pat, and maybe you ever known Postman Pat to let you down, but apparently the program crashes when you round up the sheep for the second time. That was spotted by Peter Foster of Moulton. And Peter, if I was you, I wouldn't round up the sheep for the second time and then end the problem.
Going down at number 10, it's Shining Darkness.
Also down at 9 is Streets of Rage.
Also going down, number 8, Golden Axe 2.
On the way up is number 7 is Road Rash.
Going down, number 6, it's Mercs.
And a new entry at number 5, it's Sonic.
Number 4, new entry, The Immortal.
And another new entry at number 3 is F-22.
And number 2, going down from the top spot, is Donald Duck.
And a new entry straight in at number 1 is Robocard.
How the hell does Sonic get a new entry below Robocod?
So that's about it. We've come to the end of our first ever episode of Games Mag Flashback. Now's your chance to let us know what you thought of it, so feel free to like, comment, and most of all, if you'd like to know when the next episode's up for your viewing pleasure, subscribe.
Don't forget you can reach us on Twitter at Let's Talk Retro.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Let's Talk Retro.
We've also been working hard on our website, which is letstalkretro.com. Check it out.
But anyways, thanks for joining us today, and remember, James, what they got to do till next time?
Keep it retro.
Yes, keep it retro, guys. We'll see you soon.